What's going on, everybody? Mortem here, this time bringing you some more Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous content, and this time I am excitedly bringing you one of the new prestige classes added with Beta Phase 2, the Winter Witch. Now, while there were technically 2 prestige classes added with the update, I can only cover this one because the other one is like 90% blank text, and thus I can't really go over it. But the Winter Witch I can cover. I've actually got quite a bit to say about the prerequisites to get into this class, so first of all, the Winter Witch is a prestige class. If you're new to Pathfinder and you don't know what that means, I have a video about it. Just go to my videos, search prestige class, it should come up. It will explain what prestige classes are, but to put it very simply, it's a class that you cannot put levels into before you meet the prerequisites. Now, the prerequisites for becoming a Winter Witch are Knowledge Arcana 5, having the Frost feature, which I have a lot to say about, give me a minute, and lastly, the ability to cast 3rd level Divine or Arcane spells, which basically means the ability to cast level 3 spells. Now let's talk about that has one of the following features Frost requirement. Frost is a Shaman class feature, exclusively. You actually can't pick Frost as a witch, which is important because here in a minute you're going to see that the Winter Witch primarily continues spell progression from Shaman and Witch. Those 2 classes are specifically named. So much so that I would say the only way to effectively play a Winter Witch is to either have been a Shaman or a Witch beforehand. But again, the Frost feature is actually exclusive to the Shaman. Witches get patrons, however, none of them are named Frost. That said, I was able to find, through some research, this blank placeholder thing that is probably going to wind up being named Frost if I had to guess, that acts as a patron for your Witch. And I did confirm that clicking this one will actually constitute the Frost prerequisite for the Winter Witch. Hopefully they'll clear that up before launch so people aren't as confused about it, but it caused me confusion, so I wanted to talk about it. Now, beyond that, our Winter Witch is going to get, for their class skills, Knowledge Arcana, Lore Nature, Knowledge World, Use Magic Device, and Persuasion. But with that out of the way, let's get into what the Winter Witch actually gets mechanically. So first things first, when you put your first level into Winter Witch, you will have to pick either your Shaman or Witch spellcasting class that you came from if you had levels in both. So that said, if you were only a Shaman or only a Witch or one of its archetypes, then you would by default have to pick that particular spellbook. But I do want to mention that the Witch archetypes that actually get different spellbooks from the base class Witch can also pick their archetype-specific spellbook. But what this is going to do for you is give your character new spells per day as if you had also gained a level in the class that you chose. So basically this just continues your spell progression from the class you picked before you became a Winter Witch. Moreover, at 2nd level and every 2 levels after that, you will also get a new hex depending on, again, the spellcasting class. Also, starting at level 1, we're going to pick up Cold Specialization. So our mastery of Cold becomes so great that any spell with the Cold descriptor will have its saving throw DC increased by 1. Moreover, any spells you have with the Fire descriptor that you cast will have their saving throw DC decreased by 1. And then at levels 5 and level 10, this bonus and penalty will increase by 1 up to 3 both ways. Also at level 1, we pick up Frost Power. So this just makes, again, our spell progression continue. This will cause our Winter Witch levels to stack with Shaman for the power of our Shaman hexes and Frost Spirit abilities, as well as Winter Witch stacking with our Witch levels to determine the power of our Witch hexes and access to Major and Grand hexes, as well as their patron spells. So basically this just continues your class progression outside of their regular spellbook. Now at 3rd level we pick up Freezing Cold. A Winter Witch's spells become incredibly cold, causing their caster level to increase by 1. At 6th level this bonus jumps to 2, which is awesome. This just gives a flat caster level increase to your cold descriptor spells. And then lastly at level 8 we pick up Unearthly Cold. Our Witch's spells that deal cold damage are so cold that half of the damage caused by these effects is caused by an otherworldly power and is thus not subject to being reduced by resistance or immunity to cold-based attacks, meaning that a Winter Witch, at least of level 8, will be able to deal cold damage even to things that are immune to cold damage. And that is going to do it for the Winter Witch Prestige class. And I've got to say, this is really awesome. If you want to make a really good cold mage, you would be hard pressed to go anywhere else. I would definitely go Shaman or Witch for that. Very cool. I like it a lot. definitely allows you to go all in on being a frost mage. But again, at the sacrifice of whatever your base class features were outside of like the hexes and their spellbook. But there you go, guys. There's the Winter Witch. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube jazz. But regardless of any of that, truly, just thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. May you wander in wisdom and have an amazing day.